Hello everyone, and welcome to our final major project 4, the ePorfolio. In this video, I'm going to introduce this project and go over the goals, purpose, tasks, and evaluation criteria for the project. As always, please make sure to review the project overview, which is in the MP resources folder on Canvas, and please review it carefully. This is just intended to introduce the concept and review a couple of key points. So let's start with the goals. You're going to collect and select artifacts and reflect on your work through this ePorfolio. I do want to sort of situate the ePorfolio. The previous 3 projects, major projects, have focused really heavily and entirely on your discourse communities. This project is a bit of a step away from that. It's a step back. We're going to step back and we're going to survey this entire semester and look at everything that you've accomplished. And the purpose of the MP4 is to reflect on your work this semester as a whole. So you'll be thinking about the work that you did in MP1, MP2, and MP3, but you won't necessarily be talking explicitly about your discourse community in these projects. I hope that that's helpful in clarifying about the purpose of this particular project. So let's jump down to the tasks. I also want to sort of clarify as well that these things are, the list of tasks here are all items you're going to be adding to your ePorfolio. Of course, you've already done a ton of work on your Wix website, which is your ePorfolio this semester, right? So you've already been uploading writer's logs, major project reflections. Your major project 3 is actually entirely housed on your website, right? So you've already done all of this work on your ePorfolio already. This MP4 project is really just the last sort of step in completing that ePorfolio, and it includes a few key new elements and a final course reflection. So that's really what I'm going to be outlining in this task section. So you won't take anything away from your ePorfolio, you'll only be adding at this point, okay? So your first task is to choose 2 artifacts from our class. These should be things that you have written or created or designed that demonstrate or reflect your composing practices or the development of a particular writing skill. This can truly be anything that you have done this semester. It could be a learning activity, a peer review, a piece of peer review feedback, a QQC. You also could incorporate some kind of planning document for previous projects, whether that was an outline or notes that you took while you were researching, anything along those lines, a concept map to help you organize, any of those kind of things. Anything that you feel like reflects an important thing that you have learned this semester about composing or communication. You'll write a brief explanation or caption that accompanies these artifacts. I would encourage you to maybe start a new page on your ePorfolio that houses these artifacts. It may be a helpful way to organize. And then you'll include these 100 words for each artifact that just briefly tells your audience what the artifact is. Remember, we need to provide context here for our audience. So tell your audience what the artifact is and what it demonstrates about your learning in the course. Then second, you're going to complete some revisions. You are going to revise, edit, and polish either Major Project 1 or Major Project 2. I know this question will come, so I'm going to go ahead and answer it. You can choose to revise both if you want to. It will not impact your MP4 grade, in any direction if you choose to revise both, but you're certainly welcome to do that. You're going to upload the revised version to your ePorfolio, and you're going to include a brief revision statement of about 100 words that describes the changes that you chose to make and why you chose to make them. It may be smart to start with the feedback that I provided along with your grade for MP1 or MP2 if you're wondering where to get started with those revisions. I do want to take a second and just clarify one thing. As you know, in our course, we have a revision policy where at any time up until the final deadline for the class, which is actually, ironically, or maybe very intentionally, the day and time that this final project is due, you can revise anything from MP1 and MP2 for full credit. Now, I want to clarify here, the revisions that you are submitting on your ePorfolio do not automatically result in a revised grade for MP1 and MP2. in Canvas. If you would like the revisions that you are submitting on your ePortfolio to impact your grade on MP1 and MP2, you have to email me, Miss Ayers, by midnight on Thursday, July 30th, which is the deadline for this project and for all coursework. So let me rephrase that. So if you would like to have MP1 or MP2 regraded in Canvas based on the revisions that you've made on your ePortfolio, you have to email me to request that. I'm not going to automatically go in and regrade everyone's MP1 and MP2 based on the revisions that they submit on their ePortfolio. You have to request it, okay? I hope that makes sense. Please reach out or post in the QQCs if that's not making sense, and I'll clarify. All right, task number 3. Write or record a course reflection. So this is a practice you're very familiar with. I've given a little prompt here. I really just want you to think and talk about what you've learned about genres, composing, and rhetorical strategies. This can be 500 words or 5 minutes. And I would really like for you to talk and think about how the course's 3 major projects helped you learn those things. And then the final task is to polish your ePortfolio. This is a really important thing. You're submitting this final draft to this website that you've been working on all semester. So make sure that it looks like you, it feels like you, it's polished and revised, the text is edited, that the images are not of random people, and that the website is well organized. And I've given you some tips there of how to kind of go about doing that. Let's scroll down and look at the grading criteria. You're going to complete this project, the format, you're going to complete this project using the Wix ePortfolio, where you've been updating your project reflections and your writer's logs all semester. Please do not create a new site for this project. One, it makes way more work for you, which we do not want at this point. And 2, it also defeats the purpose of the ePortfolio, which is designed to help you to collect artifacts throughout the semester that reflect your learning. So just use the existing Wix website that you've created. Evaluation criteria, this project is worth 150 points total. There is a rubric for the final draft of the ePortfolio. Most of the grade for this project, for this ePortfolio, is actually complete incomplete, so do keep that in mind. But there is a section of half of the grade is on the effectiveness of the website itself. So can I navigate it? Is it easy to read and view? So do take some time to polish. And then on Thursday, so now let's look at the dates and the deadlines for this. Sorry. Okay, so first we have our first deadline is Sunday, July 26th. There is no project proposal for this project. You've already been working on the ePortfolio. We don't need to propose anything. So we're going to jump straight into peer review. And then on Thursday, July 30th, so after Sunday, you'll have some peer review activities and you'll have some time to revise. And then on Thursday, July 30th, you will submit your final draft of this essay, of the ePortfolio. It's not an essay, of the ePortfolio. I do want to clarify there's also no conference for this particular project, so you will not conference on MP4. You will just submit it. And yes, so that is the overview, you guys. That's the introduction to our project and to our final project for this course. Please reach out, as always, if you have questions. Post in the QQC about this prompt and return to our Canvas weekly overview for your next steps for the week. So let's get to designing and reflecting. Thanks, y'all.